If you've been in the preparedness game long enough, then I'm sure by now you've likely heard of the survival tabs. They're like little vitamins that you take to give you the nutrients that you would need to survive in a survival situation. Now, the issue with survival tabs, there's a couple. One, they are expensive. Two, you need water to take them. And three, they don't make you feel full. They're not food per se, they're just a supplement. And no matter what you look at, if it's a very nutrient rich food, two of those things you're still going to have to deal with. Of course, those two things are the fact that you're going to need water, and that's the case for any type of food. You definitely need to drink water whenever you're eating food as much as possible. But the other thing is going to be cost. There's no getting around it. If you are eating very healthy food that is rich in nutrients, it's almost always going to be very expensive. And now the last thing, of course, is feeling full. So unfortunately, again, you can't get around the cost and the fact that you need water. But if you wanted something that is super nutrient dense, that'll make you full, or at the very least, it's going to supplement the food that you have to make you feel more full, I suppose, then look no further than nutrient survival. Now, before we get really deep into what nutrient survival is all about and if I recommend it and how and why I would recommend it, just full disclosure, they did send me out some meals to try out. They did not give me money. I did not give them money for it per se. However, I have purchased food from them before prior to them sending out what they did. So take that for what it's worth. I'm not going to be biased in any way, and you're going to see that here pretty shortly. But just so you guys are aware, what you're seeing in the video was sent to me for free. So the CEO of Nutrient Survival, he is a former Army Ranger, judging by what his bio says on the website. And with that in mind, he kind of has the mindset of wanting to be prepared no matter the situation. And if you look at the package for just about every single meal that they make, it'll have a description on the package saying Spec Ops grade nutrition or something of that nature. Now, my interpretation of that is basically that the food that they make is very nutritious, enough to keep you fueled for the day, or at least for a few hours. And also, in addition to that, the food itself is going to be long-lasting, being freeze-dried according to the website, and will last about 25 years. In addition to that, the package is pretty durable, and you won't have to worry about it being in your pack and the package tearing open and, everything getting ruined. Now, to throw it out there, I'm not going to say that nutrient survival is perfect, and they have some areas of improvement, like from this video you're seeing now. I added the amount of water that was specified on the package, and it just wasn't enough, so there's that. And also, not every meal that they make is like the most delicious meal you'll ever have in your life. For example, this one that I'm putting in the cup now, this is a nutrient powdered mix for water to add a little bit of flavor. And well, here's my reaction. Smells like any other lemon lime flavored powdered drink. Doesn't taste like any other powdered drink. So one of the other ones I wasn't too keen on was the Santa Fe medley, but just about every other meal that they have is very, very tasty. Like there's the lasagna, really good. The mac and cheese is probably my favorite one. And for all intents and purposes, none of this stuff is so bad that you couldn't or wouldn't eat it in a real survival situation. And that's what they're all about. They don't necessarily want the food or need the food to be the best thing you've ever eaten every single time, although they really do want it to taste good, and for the most part it does. But more than anything, they just want very, very nutrient dense food that doesn't take up a lot of space, that will last a long time. It's easy to port, or it's very portable, I should say, and easy to take with you when you're out in the field, and so on and so forth. And to be completely honest, I think they really nailed it. Now, from this video, you can see how they have a few different drink mixes, one I showed you already, but this one's actually a powdered milk. And what I'm doing is I'm mixing that together with one of the cereals that they have. And as you can imagine, that's just a lot of food and a lot of nutrients that you're getting that you wouldn't get otherwise from something like a Mountain House. So I'm going to go ahead and pop up some screenshots here comparing, or from their website, to compare some of the nutrient survival food from something like Mountain House or whatever they're comparing it to. So let's take a look at that real quick. So this is kind of interesting. You can go on their website and you can actually click on the different types of vitamins and minerals that are in both the nutrient survival foods as well as foods from competing manufacturers, basically. Like in this instance, we're looking at the maple almond grain crunch, like what I just mixed together here, and the Mountain House granola with milk and blueberries. And it's not even a comparison. The nutrient survival stuff has just so many more nutrients and minerals. And again, you can go on their website, click on the different types of nutrients, and you'll see the daily value compared to the other manufacturer. And now imagine this, but now you're adding the nutrient survival milk, and I'll go ahead and upload a picture of that real fast. I know it's kind of tough to see from these pictures, but you're getting a whole bunch of different vitamins and minerals that you would, again, otherwise not be getting from other combinations out there. So it's really no question that this is the type of food that you should stockpile, right? I am going to say not necessarily. And the reason being is because it is so expensive and because it comes in such small packages, I don't think it makes too much sense for you to go out and stockpile only this food. Now, to be fair, they do have larger packages. You can get the number 10 cans, or you can get just the larger Mylar bags if you want it as well. And yeah, those are good options. And you should definitely have a lot of this stuff lying around. However, again, it is just so expensive. Plus, you're going to get tired if you're eating the same stuff over and over again. And variety is the spice of life. And I'll tell you what, I'm a huge fan of Peak Refuel food, and it has a whole bunch of protein in that stuff. The nutrients seem pretty decent as well. But what I think you should use nutrient survival for is kind of like what I mentioned at the beginning with the survival tabs, as a supplement. So again, with the other foods, they're larger packages and you're just not getting the nutrients that you need. But if you add the nutrient survival foods to your daily food allowance, then you're going to be much healthier because you're well fed and you're getting the nutrients that you need. So that's where I think nutrient survival really comes in handy. Now, to word it a little bit differently, if you guys watched my food prep your bug out bag video, you'll see how I took a whole bunch of different types of food. So to be more specific, I would take 3 different meals from different manufacturers, typically Peak Refuel, and I would vacuum seal those all together. However, what I would do is I would throw in 1 pack of nutrient survival into each one of those days, or at least that's how I would recommend you do it. Throw one of those into each one of those days. That's going to up your calorie count and again give you all these nutrients. In addition to that, I'll throw in like a piece of candy or maybe an instant pack of oatmeal or something like that, just as like a snack. But again, you're using the nutrient survival as a supplement, not as your primary food source. And instead of using this stuff as your primary food, then you can get something like Peak Refuel, which will come in a larger package, will make you more full, and also be more calories than what this stuff will give you. Of course, all of this comes down to personal preference, and that's just my personal preference. Peak Refuel also, they don't want to exclusively cater to the preparedness market. They also are really good camping food, as you can imagine, just like Mountain House. And they even have a kind of tab on their website for day-to-day. So if you wanted to eat this food as a diet, there are specific meal plans that they have, from what I remember seeing, that will be a good diet. So it gets less calories per day than normal to help you lose weight, but you're still getting very healthy food. So that is another consideration if you wanted to lose a little bit of weight. They also have really tasty coffee, as you're seeing here. I don't really drink coffee anymore, so I only took a sip just because I'm trying to, break free from the need of caffeine. But I do really enjoy the taste of coffee, and this is some of the best instant coffee I've ever had. So there's that. If you guys are coffee drinkers, you should definitely give that a try. In fact, it would make a really good replacement for your normal coffee, which isn't really giving you any health benefits. But by using the nutrient survival coffee, obviously you are. Okay, I'm going to try to give you a rundown real fast of the different meals that they currently have available. So, we'll start with what we're looking at now. Actually, I'll just start off with drinks in general. So first, they have powdered vitamin milk, they have the coffee, they have a hemp coffee, and they also have an immunity booster, which you saw earlier. And lastly, they have that drink mix that you'd pour into a water bottle and shake up, the one that I wasn't too terribly keen on. But that is it for the drinks as far as I'm remembering. JK, they also have a chocolate shake, which you saw earlier, and I don't remember seeing this before, but they now have a vanilla shake, so that is it for the drinks. They also have two different types of bars. One is going to be chocolate and the other is going to be peanut butter. In addition to that, they also have some cookies, which are really good. I actually did try one of the chocolate bars and then one of the cookies, or two of the cookies, and those are really, really good. Now for the normal grub, they have lasagna, mac and cheese. They have a homestyle scramble, Santa Fe scramble, maple grain crunch, as well as a chocolate grain crunch, apple oatmeal, which you're seeing now, and then finally they have the scrambled eggs that you saw at the very, very beginning of the video. And those scrambled eggs are actually pretty decent, I gotta say. They're just like normal eggs, except obviously they start off in powder form, so the texture is a little weird, but the flavor is really good. Throw some of that Tabasco on there, and that's money. And that's pretty much it for right now, at least. So there you go. To summarize, the TLDR of this video is that nutrient survival food is, in my opinion, a necessity for your bug out bags, or even for your apocalypse food storage in general, even if you're not planning on bugging out, which you probably shouldn't unless you really have to, yada yada yada. You should definitely buy some of this stuff. So thanks again to Nutrient Survival for sending some of this food out to me. I really appreciate that. More importantly, however, thank you guys for watching. If you want to support the channel, like, comment, and subscribe. All of that stuff will help out with the algorithm. I also do have the Patreon down below if you want to help there, as well as some good causes. So support the good causes first before you help me. But if you do want to help me, because I am a small growing channel, that is the best way to do it. In fact, on the Patreon, if you donate a certain amount, there is some merchandise that you can get. If you are interested in that, donate the high amount the first month, and then for every following month, you should definitely drop down to a lower tier, because there's no point to be spending that much money on me every month. Or even if you make it a one-time donation, then hey, it works for me. That's a cool way to do it. But either way, there's a Patreon down below, and you can potentially get some pretty cool merch that way. So consider that, and that is highly appreciated. And with all of that being said, I would like to thank you all for watching. Remember, all gun laws are unconstitutional, and of course, remember to have a good rest of your day. And I will see you guys later. Bye.